11:40, the Kings on the road. Their second of 3 road contests. They'll be in Oklahoma City today and Tuesday, coming off the historic game on Friday. Today's a historic game as well. It'll be the 3,000th broadcast for the great Gary Gerald. We'll uncover it all. It is raining outside, another kind of gloomy day in our capital city. Be careful if you're driving out there. Staying tuned to us. Henry and I will be with you until 3:30, getting you ready for Kings Live pregame. Henry, it's been a great weekend so far, though.
Oh, man, Scooter, like you said, it's gloomy outside, man, but it's definitely shiny where the Sacramento Kings are.
No doubt. And we'll break it all down. But first, if you are listening to Sactown Sports 1140, you're listening to our network coverage. We can confirm LeBron James is alive and playing still for the Lakers.
Yeah, because if you're listening to rumors, you would think he's in the hospital going to the ER right now.
He did twist his ankle slightly in the third quarter of the Dallas game, but he never left the game. He's moving fine, and the Lakers are proceeding.
He's still here with us.
They're still losing, by the way.
Yeah, that's the good thing.
To the Mavs, 81-76. We'll get into the NBA later in the show as well. But, Henry, it starts and stops right now with Friday night. And our first chance to talk, I know you broke it down with Jason afterwards. Still, I am in shock. I'm still amazed. I'm still not sure I'm processing what I watched on Friday night. All I know, it was one of the great Kings games of all times. It was one of the great NBA games of all time. And, boy, was that something else.
Scott, I've been around this organization and been around the NBA since 1989. Long time as a player, long time as an analyst. I know I'm a dinosaur, but I'll tell you what, that game was one of the most intense games from start to finish that I had seen in a long time. Both teams came out shooting the basketball at an extraordinary pace. I'm like, you couldn't even talk about defense.
Right.
Because I'm like, somebody has to miss here. Okay. Yeah. What's going on in this game? And then Jason and I, we start trying to talk about defense. I'm like, Jay, both teams are playing decent defense. You're just looking at better offense at this particular point. And Scooter, and it kept going that way the whole game. Yeah. It was just miraculous.
It was unbelievable. But the stretch in the fourth quarter, the Kings defense with De'Aaron Fox leading it was what got them to overtime initially.
Right. Was able to get a couple of steals, get a couple of shots, and it was funny because, my cousin's the assistant coach for LA. And I texted him right after the game. I'm like, wow, what a game. Yeah. And he was just like, H, they wouldn't stop coming. It was crazy, Scott, because the Clippers gave them everything they had. Yeah. And at a certain point, Scooter, when you give a team everything you have, think about it. Kawhi was balling out of his mind.
Absolutely.
Paul George was hooping. The complimentary guys was giving the Clippers.
Westbrook was good in his first game.
Westbrook played great in his first game. So when you come out and you give a basketball team everything you have and you still come up short, you have to concede. Say, hey, man, you know what? They just beat us.
You have to give credit where credit is
right.
due. No doubt about it. If you want to talk about it, we certainly will put you on today. 1-800-920-1140. You can text us 339-1140. Of course, we're up and running on our YouTube as well. Sactown 1140 at YouTube. You can join us. We'll be talking in the breaks in the chat room as well. But I mean, there's just so many records to this game. Obviously it's the second highest scoring game in NBA history. It's the highest scoring game in Kings history. I mean, we could go on and on, but at the end of the day, it was the individual efforts and most notably the combination of De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk combining for 87 points. That was something very, very special.
Did the Kentucky boys step up? The cool thing about it is that, we know De'Aaron and we know what De'Aaron brings.
Yeah.
And De'Aaron definitely started off the game playing well. But when Malik Monk came in and he started putting his stamp on the game, Scott, he brings a different energy, bro. Yeah. Because him and Sabonis, they have their little love affair going. For some reason, they definitely complement each other's game. Whether it's for Malik Monk to come off and knock down the shot, whether Malik Monk comes off that down screen, he probes in the middle and hits Sabonis with the little, pocket pass.
Yep.
All of those things work. That night, they did that about 3 times in a row. to where Malik came off, the big man stepped up, he pocket passed to Sabonis, Sabonis dunks the basketball. You know, and it was kind of one of those things where the Clippers was like, well, damn, we did the right thing. I stepped up, but they were still able to score.
Yep.
It's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
No doubt. And again, the play that sent it to overtime just showed how much in sync Fox and Monk are, because Fox drives into the lane, Monk's in the corner, right? Somehow Fox knows that Monk's going to move over 3 steps to the left against good coverage, found him exactly, and Monk did the rest.
Okay. That's how you saw it.
Okay, how did you see
I'm going to tell you exactly how it was.
Okay.
De'Aaron drove to the baseline.
Yep.
Malik Monk was supposed to be in the corner. That's where he was supposed to be. Norman Powell knew that.
Yes.
Norman Powell stunned it to where Malik was supposed to be. Great look by Malik. Malik went the other way. De'Aaron had nowhere else to go but to Malik, spotted him, hit him for that shot, and he knocked it down.
And I agree with all of that, but it just felt like those are players, obviously, who'd played years together, so comfortable. They're reacting and reading, right?
He's quick to find him. That's the thing. You know, Malik Monk knows that all he has to do is keep his eye on D. D knows where he's supposed to be, but you know what? He made a very intelligent move, because if De'Aaron would have threw it to the spot where Malik was supposed to be, Norman Powell had that ball.
No doubt about that. I mean, it was an incredible play, and it just showed again how in sync those two players are. Again, they combined for 87, and to your point, Leonard had 44, George had 34. They combined for 78 in the game.
And let's talk about how Kawhi got his numbers. Oh my God. At one point, I kind of felt the exact same way the Clippers felt, like in the third quarter. Kawhi Leonard was knocking shots down like he was out of his mind.
That was Toronto Raptors Kawhi Leonard.
And I'm like, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. I mean, Harrison Barnes is hanging on this dude like a cheap suit.
Yep.
And he was still knocking down shots. They were double teaming him. They were sending stunts his way. He was still knocking down shots. I'm like, what can you do? There's nothing you can do about that shot.
Nothing at all. He was absolutely awesome. The Clippers played great. The Kings just outplayed them. I mean, it was just, again, where do you rank this? Some people are saying it's the greatest regular season game of all time. Certainly a lot of people saying it's the greatest regular season Kings game of all time. Where does it fit in terms of your pantheon and all your years of seeing games?
It's up there high, very, very high. I mean, you know, the games that we love the most, you can definitely say, okay, those wasn't regular season games. You know, Big Shot Bibby, when Mike hit the shot, that was in the playoffs.
Sure, that's a different level.
Right, that's a different level. So, but we've seen some great games by the Sacramento Kings. You know, the game when Kevin Martin came down against San Antonio, 3-2-1, he went over Tim Duncan and laid it in.
Right, and that was, I believe it was a playoff game too. That was the first round of the playoffs.
I don't think that was a playoff game. Was it? I don't know.
Anyways, it was a great game. Great game.
Great game. You know, this game, man, I was just thoroughly entertained, and Scott, it's really hard to keep me thoroughly entertained for the whole game. So I'm analyzing everything, and I'm trying to break down the bad with the good.
Yep.
It wasn't too many things bad that I seen. It was just all good from both sides. So that was a hell of a basketball game.
No question. And the reaction after the game was absolutely incredible. Kings fans were going nuts, and it's been a great year. But to me, this is the moment where now we're feeling like this is the start of something like we felt back in the old days when there was the start of something.
Right. Scooter, let me tell you how cool it is to even just be affiliated with this organization right now. I went and got my oil changed yesterday. And of course, you know, everybody there knows I'm affiliated with the squad and everything. And I was walking over to the bank, and one of the guys that was changing my oil just screamed out. I mean, just screamed out over the parking lot, "Hey, high flyer, light the beam."
Yep, light that beam.
And it's just so cool, man, to have something like that going on to where you're having great basketball. The gimmick is just 100% on point, you know, and for the fans to get back involved and be engaged in what's going on, it's so cool. I mean, this is a cool time to be involved with this organization.
It is so much fun, and everybody's loving it. You know, back in that era, it was the bobbleheads, right? That were the craze. Right. Now it's the beam.
But I even think that, Scott, the beam is more connected to the city.
Everybody can touch the beam.
I mean, my mom is texting me, "Can I light the beam?" I'm like, "Yes, mother, you can go light the beam."
We need to get her to a game to do that.
Oh man, she is definitely in tune with it.
No question. And by the way, today is my mom's birthday.
Oh man, happy
well.
birthday.
So happy birthday to my mom. She's a huge Kings fan. So
I mean, both moms is into it.
yes, they are. Yes, they are. Makes it fun. Makes it a ton of fun. That was something special. And the Kings certainly riding high, 9 games above 500 for the first time this season. Oklahoma City's the opponent. They'll be there for the next couple of games. When we come back, we'll start breaking that down. We'll get you caught up on the Thunder as well, because Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, he didn't play on Friday night. We'll let you know if he's available to play today. Game night underway. Game night is always brought to you by Power Business Technology. Experience how the Power of Family can help your business office equipment needs today. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ or go to powercopiers.com. More of Game Night right here. Sactown Sports 1140.
Sactown Sports continues to grow in 2023. And Wednesday, March 1st, we will announce.
All right.
Nate, how are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Anthony Davis is down in the Laker game, Nate.
Oh, wow.
We had LeBron down earlier.
Oh, he's back up.
That's,
Yes.
And
now AD.
Hey, but street clothes will go out on you.
you know what Reggie Miller says, right? That's 3 weeks right there for just breathing on
Yeah,
him.
Hey, street clothes will go down quick.
That was awesome. He said it during a broadcast. Kevin Harlan just he was cracking
It's
up so
rare you
hard
see Harlan break. Yeah, that's a good clip.
He was doing everything he could not to laugh.
I'm telling you, but hey, AD is soft as table butter, bro.
He's still out there though.
Yeah.
Give the man his props. Still playing through it.
I want to ask you guys, this will probably take a couple of breaks to get through, but today, obviously, G-Man's 3,000th game, big deal.
Yes, it is a very big deal.
Favorite moment you ever had with G-Man?
Wow. I mean,
or just maybe just one.
Sure.
I know there's probably a lot. It's hard to recall things like that.
Sure. Probably. I mean, the signature call is probably that Bibby game winner in game 5 at home. I gotta think that's right up there amongst the very best. Henry, what would you say?
it's so many with G-Man.
It's true.
You know,
maybe not even a call either,
doesn't
like an
have-
interaction
yeah,
you have
sure.
with him.
I could give you my favorite of this year.
Okay.
When De'Aaron Fox came into the middle, he wiggled a little bit and then went up and dunked the basketball with his left hand.
Yeah.
G-Man was like, oh, my God, he dunked that with all kinds of nasty. It almost spit water up.
You know,
This is one of my favorites right here.
All right,
let
let's hear it.
me pull this.
Okay.
See if you guys can hear this real quick.
All right.
Oh, wait. Oh, it's being weird. Hold on.
No problem. There we go. We can hear it.
His caw he gave. Yeah, that was iconic for me. It was cool to hear that.
I love when he gets on the refs and he just, after a bad call, that's just disgusting.
You know what was funny? Because I said this other day. I said, as great and as kind of a man as G-Man is, he gets a little surly, man.
No doubt.
Yeah, no, and
he gets a little surly with things they acted right.
I mean, he wants to be out there too. He hates missing games.
No doubt.
Hates it so much.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
you don't get the 3,000 games without feeling that way.
No. He's a pro. He's so good at his job. It's incredible.
I will tell you this. Now, whether it's coach, assistant coach, GM, whoever, nobody comes more prepared to a game than G-Man.
I'm sure. And no one comes more well-dressed either.
And I don't know about the dress, but I'm talking about just well prepared. Bro, G-Man has tidbits, man, of things that you would have never thought that was concerning a basketball player or organization or anything else that they have going on.
Yeah, he's incredible.
He is.
Dude,
incredible.
he is very, very well prepared.
All right, we'll come back from break and then we'll see if we can recollect any personal moments maybe with him.
I love it. Welcome back in the game night right here. Sactown Sports 1140. Hope you are joining us in the YouTube chat room as well. We had a great discussion on Gary Gerald and some of our favorite moments. You can just log on Sactown Sports on YouTube. Of course, if you're driving in your car, you want to give us a call, you can 1-800-920-1140. Be careful out there. Rainy Sunday afternoons. The Kings get ready to take on Oklahoma City. 4:00 tip. It will be the G-Man on the call. And as we said earlier, it will be his 3,000th broadcast today behind the mic. Unbelievable record. It's the Lou Gehrig record of broadcasting.
I mean, Scooter, let's put this into perspective. You only have 82 games a season.
Yep.
3,000.
Yep.
That's a lot of seasons with this team.
38.
I mean,
the only man since 85
came here and but he was with the team when they came here. So it wasn't like 85 was his first year with the Kings.
He started here with the Kings in Sacramento.
Oh, did he? He started here in 85.
Correct,
okay.
Correct.
I thought he came here from Kansas City.
He was working on Channel 3. He was a sports anchor.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, or at least at one time prior to that, but he was in Sacramento for sure.
So we can say this though for sure. Every last Sacramento Kings season, he has been the voice.
Yes, he had the black tuxedo on for game one, and he is still bringing it at a great level. And of course, Lou Gehrig, Cal Ripken, of course, passed Lou Gehrig, so we can use that analogy as well. But we were talking during the timeout about our some of our favorite moments of G-Man in terms of great calls and just being able to work with him. You know, for me personally, it's great because I was just a kid here in Sacramento when the Kings moved here, and obviously so excited about it. But you know, before you were playing with the team, and you know, most of the games weren't on TV in those days, and so really the only chance you had to follow the team was listening to it on the radio. So I know a lot of school nights I just spent listening to Gary call the games, and it was so exciting just to listen to it. I just thought that's the coolest job ever. You know,
I mean, Scott, when you take it back that far, a lot of people don't remember NBA back in those days when you only had 2 games on the weekends, and it was mostly East Coast Boston, whoever they played, and West Coast Lakers, whoever they played. That was it for television, for basketball. So if you followed any other basketball team, it was all radio.
Right. Just think, you know, all the coaching changes that Gary has seen, all the different personnel he's worked with throughout all the years, all the players that have come and gone.
Has seen every last player.
Yes.
We've had some come for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Gary Gerald has seen every last player that have came into the Sacramento Kings organization and has spoke to each and every last one.
There's no doubt about it. And again, in terms of calls, there's so many. His signature line, he's got the bucket. Mike Bibby's Game 5 game winner will always be etched in Sacramento Kings fans. There's so many, though, of course.
I mean, and the cool thing about it, Scott, is that he's still as sharp as he was. You know, I sit next to him every night.
Yeah, you get the privilege of working with him.
Yes, I sit next to him every night, man. And some nights I just sit and I marvel and I laugh and I giggle because some of the things he's saying, how quick he can explain it. I'm like, oh my God, I'm witnessing greatness right now.
He is so smooth.
Yeah.
You know, the ability to broadcast like that, so mistake-free, is truly a very, very special talent that only Gary has. And hopefully we're going to talk to him later in game night before we get the Kings Live pregame. We're going to try and make that happen later in the show. All right, Kings and Oklahoma City today. Again, first of 2. We know what the Kings did coming into this game. The Thunder were in Phoenix on Friday. They lost to the Suns 124-115. They were out without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and we have learned that they will be without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander again today.
Kings take care of business. I mean, it seems like everything, Scott, for this team is opening up their way. All they have to do is walk through the door and take advantage of the opportunity. You know, they're catching teams struggling. They're catching teams without their full roster. They're catching teams undermanned. Go and take care of business. Collect as much equity as you possibly can because you never know when the storm is coming. The storm really hasn't hit the Sacramento Kings.
No.
You know, and God forbid they could stay healthy enough to make this long run. But you go out and you create enough equity to do whatever it is you need to do.
Their health has been amazing. Absolutely. It's been a big factor of why they played so well. Obviously, they have great talent and their stars have played like stars, but the health has been huge. I know this is a touchy subject with you. I bring it up anyways. The Kings played on Thursday. They played almost 2 games on Friday night, the way that game went.
Right.
They're traveling. They've got Oklahoma City and what is a fairly quick turnaround, 2-hour time difference, all that stuff. Is fatigue an issue with the Kings today at all?
Scooter, you could always use that. But for what you're trying to do, the overall goal for this basketball team and how close these guys are of making it, fatigue can't be a problem right now. After the season, you have all the time to rest. Cancun, Cabo, all those other things after the season. But right now, we need each and every last one of these guys at their fullest. If you aren't hurt, we need 100% of what you can give us out there on the floor. It's just that close. You have to bring it. You can't go in with the mindset of, I'm tired.
And no question about that. And I think the players will give 100% of what they have to give. Now, De'Aaron Fox on Friday night, he was absolutely gassed at the end of that game.
Gassed. And I'm hoping that D Fox took a day off and just relaxed and recharged his batteries, because once again, we're going to need you tonight. We're going to need you to come out and be the same D Fox. Now, I hope we don't have to go into double overtime with OKC, okay? But still, we're going to need De'Aaron Fox to come out and play his normal self.
No doubt. And we'll see what the Kings are able to do. It's interesting. And the Kings obviously haven't been a great team over the last 16 years. We understand that. But Oklahoma City is particularly a place where they've struggled. And Oklahoma City was good at stretches during that run. I mean, they haven't been as good now, but the Kings have lost 19 over the last 24 there.
It's been tough to play there, but they have had some good basketball teams. I mean, think about who comes through there.
Sure. The days of Durant and Harden and Westbrook, they had it rolling for a while.
And, and then when they had Paul George and Westbrook, they had good basketball
Chris Paul
teams.
Even.
Serge Ibaka, Chris Paul, they've had good basketball teams. They just haven't had a chance to cash in on that. But at the end of the day, the Kings have a great opportunity this year to do something very special. And, and I hope each and every last one of these guys, Scott, understands. And I think they do.
The way they're playing,
I honestly think they do, because I think right now they want to do it for the fans more so than themselves, because they understand, the heartache that the fans have had all these years.
No doubt. By the way, we didn't have a chance to talk about it on Thursday either. But what did you attribute that first quarter stinker that the Kings had on Thursday? Obviously, they turned it around. Portland game,
Come on, Scooter.
Was it just all-star break woes? They knew nobody was there?
Looking down at that roster and saying, man, nobody's on this roster, and feeling like, okay, well, Portland's going to just roll over and lay down for us. No. No, they are NBA players just like you are. And, Scott, that's why I hate it. And you will never, ever hear me say or call this situation garbage time. When the subs come in and a lot of people say, well, it's just garbage time. Hey, you don't know what you're talking about. It's not garbage time. It's just reserve time, because each and every last one of those reserves, if they have a chance, and we saw that with some of the guys that came off the bench for Portland, they could be big time players if they just got the time.
No, they showed, obviously, a big game for Nas Little. Shadon Sharp has got some real talent, all that stuff. Looking back a couple days, what do you make of what the Blazers did, sitting Lillard and Grant and everything else?
I think the Blazers are going to tank it in.
Yeah.
They're at the bottom.
They're 12th right now, 28-31. They're actually tied with the Thunder.
Yeah, I mean, they're at the bottom. So, why are you going to – once again, you have a once-in-a-generational talent.
Sure.
And Damian and D-Lil.
Yep.
Why are you going to ride all the wheels off of him just to try to make it into the play-in? You shut it down, you shut him down, and you try to get yourself a good draft pick, try to go out in free agency, get you some other players, and then try to regroup for next year.
Yeah. How about the Thunder? Because they are 28-31. It's the first time we've talked about them with having a legitimate chance of being in a play-in situation. I mean, they've been the bottom of the conference for such a long time, but with the way that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is playing, the fact that they've got some pieces around him now who are also performing. Josh Giddey's a nice second-year player. Isaiah Joe can really score the basketball. What do you think about the Thunder? Are they going to try and make a push here?
And now, see, the Thunder and Portland are in two different type of situations. D-Lil has been in Portland for how long now? 10 seasons?
Least,
Yeah, so he's been there for a while. His window of opportunity isn't that large. With those young guys they got going down in OKC, you really can't shut those guys down because they're just starting to find their way. Mm-hmm. Let those guys play and see how far they can go.
Yep. Well, OKC, even without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, this is still a competitive roster. I mean, to your point, the Kings just can't go in there and expect the W.
Scooter, no game.
Nope.
No game where the Kings can think that they're good enough just to go in there and show up and win a basketball game. They're not that good. As good as we think they are right now, you're still not that good just to walk into another NBA arena and say, okay, we're here. We're going to win this game.
Yep.
You have to go out and perform. You have to go out and take these wins. Show the rest of the league you are a dominant squad.
I agree. You know, of all the stats we've mentioned about the Kings in the historical game on Friday night, the stat that blows me away more than any other thing is that right now the Kings have the highest offensive rating as of right now of any team in NBA history.
Wow.
Any team in NBA history right now, the Kings have the highest offensive rating. That is unbelievable.
Well, the game has changed, Scott.
Sure it has.
The game has truly
I understand
truly
that, but still,
changed.
that's an unbelievable statement.
But how they can score the basketball is definitely, a big time for them. Because like when you look at efficiency ratings, you would think more of maybe the Showtime Lakers or maybe the Golden State Warriors or, maybe Miami when they had their big three. Well, the game wasn't played the exact same way. The three-point ball has definitely transcended the NBA. It's changed everything that's going on. That's why you see, Scott, all of these records are being broke when you're talking about scoring the basketball because it's more so a three-point game. I remember when we played, and this was back in the 90s. If we took 10, 12 threes, that was a lot.
Sure.
That was a lot. Mitch Richmond was one of the best three-point shooters Sacramento had seen, and he would only take 2, maybe 3, sometimes 4 a game. And that was
on the line all the time.
Yeah, that big toe stayed on the line.
He needed to cut his sneakers an inch shorter.
Him and Kevin Durant both. That big toe stayed on the line. But still, we didn't come down and launch 43s.
Right.
The game has definitely changed.
And by the way, they also tied the record for most combined threes in the game on Friday night too. I think collectively it was 46 threes.
Man, that game Friday was just ooh-wee. That's one you put in the memory banks, you put in the vault, and 10 years down the line, you just pull out and say, hey, you think that's something nice? Look what they did 10 years ago.
That game was so good. It was an instant classic while it was still going on in the second overtime.
It was an instant classic just by us sitting here watching it. And all the emotions and everything, even when Kawhi went crazy in the third quarter and the Kings went down, I'm sitting here and I'm like, but fellas, the Kings aren't going away. They did everything that they were supposed to as a team that was on the road playing against a good basketball team. Yeah, the Clippers socked the Kings in the mouth, big time. But they didn't go away.
Nope.
They kept chipping. And all of a sudden, Kawhi Leonard goes crazy, goes nuts. I mean, come down and just went 4 for 4 from 3.
Yep.
But they didn't go away.
Nope. Had them on the ropes, but couldn't take them down.
And didn't go away.
Did not. All right. When we come back, we'll start going around the league. The Bucks are on a big-time roll. They've won 14 straight. But are they in trouble with Giannis, who went out of the game with knee stiffness again? We'll talk about that. The Lakers and Mavs are going on. It's coming down to the wire. We'll get you updated on that score, that, and a lot more. And again, we hope to hear from Gary Gerald at the end of this program as well. It is game night right here, Sactown Sports 1140.
All right, back in the YouTube chat here. Okay. I know we're talking about personal moments with the G-Man.
Yes.
For me, I mean, I'm relatively new to this radio. Well, yes. I am new. I'm not even 2 years in. But the first time, like G-Man, they do the credits after the game. It'll be like Nate Littlefield in the studio.
Yeah.
That was like.
That's pretty cool.
That was crazy to hear.
That's awesome.
I saved that. I cut that. I saved it that night. Put it in my back pocket. But that was, and then I've done media, not fans, like fans wouldn't know this, but the media room downstairs, there's pictures up of all these kind of iconic Kings moment. There's like music artists in there too. But last time I was doing media, I was sitting there and they got a big picture behind the food of G-Man sitting with Reggie Theus in like, I think that was like 80.
That was opening night.
That was the
first game ever played here.
So I was sitting there and then right below it, G-Man was just sitting right there, just kind of prepping for the game and just looking at both, kind of just being like, how did this is so cool. How did I get here?
I agree with you. And for me, again, growing up listening to him, because I'm from Sacramento, everything else, the first time I actually got to work a Kings broadcast with Gary Gerald and sit next to him courtside, that was the moment I thought I had arrived, right? That was such a magical moment for me. And, I'll never forget that. And it's still just so special. And, I've gotten to know Gary pretty well on and off, working with the Kings. We get a chance to golf quite a bit together now, and that's great. And he's just as competitive on the golf course as
that's
he
what
is
I've heard. Yeah.
calling a game. And so it's been very special, Henry.
People really don't understand. I mean, professionally, one of the best, but as an overall human being,
the best human being,
even better. Nate, I understand where you're coming from when you say how G-Man acknowledged you and you felt so special, like, wow,
exactly. Yeah.
G-Man knows who I am. He acknowledges me and my work. Well, I'll tell you what, ever since 1989, I have received a Christmas card.
Yes,
yeah.
From Gary Gerald.
I'm on that too now. Yeah,
year.
It's so
haven't
cool.
missed one year. If it's one thing at Christmas time I can put my hat on, is getting a card from the G-Man.
So cool. Last year was the first time I got one, and Jason's like, here, this is from the G-Man, just Jason Ross, obviously. Yeah. Hand me the slip. I was like, what's this? What? Yeah. And I open it, and
you've arrived.
I could not believe it. Yeah, so cool.
I know it blew your mind away. I mean,
I know.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're in the rotation, every year it's going to be there.
Yep. Once you're in the circle,
it's
man.
going to be
good.
There.
I'm glad. I'm happy to be in the circle.
No doubt about that. He never forgets a person's birthday ever.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Ever. And I know with Facebook we get notices and all that stuff, but he just never forgets to acknowledge somebody else, and especially with their birthday, which is just remarkable.
We got less than a minute left, but I totally forgot about this. I wanted to ask you guys what you thought about the Kings getting flexed into TNT against the Knicks. You guys haven't mentioned that on air,
I wasn't even aware of that.
Oh, you didn't know?
No.
It happened yesterday.
Okay.
They moved the Knicks game, I believe, March 9th or March 4th. I'm sorry I don't have the exact date here, but
I got the schedule up here.
The Kings got flexed into prime time.
March 9th, Thursday, March 9th. So that's a TNT game.
Yeah, so that's I don't know. We're gonna come back here in about 20 seconds, but that was pretty awesome. Well, I think that game alone was because it happened the morning after the Clippers game.
No question. But also Julius Randle went for 46 and the Knicks won 4 or 5. It makes sense on both sides.
Yeah, and they're replacing the Nets and it was the Nets and I forget who, but we're coming. Yeah, we're coming back here.
Back here on game night, Sactown Sports, 1140. Some great conversation about the G-Man and our YouTube during the break. Again, we encourage you to log on there, give us a like. Sactown Sports on YouTube. Nate, you told us some good news in the chat. Why don't you bring it up now? I missed it. I was traveling yesterday. I had the UC Davis game down at Cal Poly, long trip back, but some good news for Kings fans.
Yeah, so me and Chris Watkins do Kings Weekly every Saturday morning.
I listen every week.
Fantastic. Yep. And we were doing the show, and we had breaking news during the show, which was pretty awesome. The Kings have been flexed to TNT March 9th to play the New York Knicks.
That's a home game.
Yeah, flex into prime time.
Yep.
Yep.
Wait. Flex, is that like,
that's NFL stuff.
I'm saying, is that like Hulk Hogan? Come on, brother. Flex that way or just pushed into the situation?
I think it's both. I think they flexed so hard they were pushed into the situation. I think that was that's what happened. But I kind of likened it to when like an NFL punter makes a huge tackle on someone and then the next day they're getting a drug test, Oh,
okay.
Yeah, I kind of felt like that's what this NBA equivalent is. Like the Kings just go off and go crazy that night, and the next morning they're like, okay, we got to flex you into prime time.
You know what? However it is, Scott, we'll take it.
We'll take it. And I mean, obviously the Kings deserved it, and no doubt Friday night had a huge impact on that. But the Knicks too are playing great basketball. They've won 5 straight, 8 of their last 10. Julius Randle is on a streak that is like the best in his career. So I mean, that's a great game. And of course, New York with the national market and all that stuff. And by the way, they moved out the Nets, who are no longer relevant. So.
And you know what, Scott? And I'm loving that because, early on when you and I both arrived here, I was just telling you about how the Kings are starting to, get what they truly deserve. And they're starting to get recognition. Yep. They're starting to get, people saying, hey, this is a good basketball team. And, we know that the NBA is a situation to where if they like you, they push you out there. Well, the Sacramento Kings aren't the most liked team in the NBA, but they definitely have proven that they need to get all the accolades that they can because they deserve it.
They do indeed, and that is great. Again, Thursday, March 9th, the Kings have a lot of home games in March too, a lot of great home games. I mean, the schedule really is going to be fun, including the Clippers back for that rematch next Friday night.
That's going to be the one.
That's going to be spicy. The T-Wolves on the back-to-back March 4th, and you get the Pelicans on the 6th, the Knicks on the 9th. The Bucks are here on the 13th. Going down the month a little bit, you get the Celtics at home on the 21st. You get the Suns at home on the 24th, the Jazz on the 25th, and the T-Wolves on the 27th.
Yes, I'm not too worried about Milwaukee. I'm not too worried about Boston. That's East Coast.
Sure, but they're going to be great games.
Great games, but that's East Coast. I'm looking at the overall picture here, Scott. You know, the Phoenix game, huge.
Oh, yeah.
Especially this one with the Clipper sandwich.
Yep.
This game here.
Oh, this Friday night game gets the Clips, man.
I know we got OKC twice, and, you know, I hate to jump over games. I never do that. But I'm just going to look and say, okay, the Kings are going to come out and take care of business these two games. That Clipper game, if they come out and knock that one down, I honestly think that they will be in the 2 spot, and they will be then separated themselves a good distance from the rest of the teams that were trying to catch them coming out of All-Star break.
Yeah, right now the Kings are just 2 games back of the Grizz, who did win last night. Big win for them against the Nuggets. They blew out Denver last night.
And see, I wasn't counting that one.
Yeah.
I was like, Denver, get up.
Yeah, Denver laid down last night. It was their worst performance of the year. They were trailing by the largest margin at halftime, all that type of stuff. But again, the Kings are right there with the Grizz, just 2 games out of that one. As I mentioned, you mentioned the Bucks. Again, they've won 14 straight. They're playing the best basketball of anybody in the league. But Giannis left that game, knee injury, called day to day. He missed 6 games earlier this season with the same knee. So that's got to be concerning for the Bucks.
I bet, yes. You know, with any team right now, Scott, health. You need your all-star players. And understanding that the Milwaukee Bucks are a very good basketball team. The one thing that really trips me out about Milwaukee, and it's kind of like what I was just talking about with being liked in the league, why is Milwaukee always looked over? You know, they quick to go to Boston. Oh, Boston's a great basketball team. They quick to run to Brooklyn, all these other things. But Milwaukee is just killing it, and you don't hear anything about Milwaukee.
Yep, no doubt. And again, it has to do with market size. I'm convinced of that, right?
I would have to agree.
Yeah, it has to be. All right, this Laker-Dallas game, as we look around the league, is getting interesting. 12 seconds to go. Lakers with the ball up 3. They're in a great winning position. The Lakers, again, as we look at the conference standings, they're in 13th still, 28 and 32. The Mavs are 32 and 29. But again, there's only 3 games separating 4th through 13th in the loss column.
Yeah, it's tight.
It's beyond tight. It's tight. Incredible.
That's why I want the Kings to take care of business and stretch themselves out, get as much equity as they can, because it's going to be a dogfight down there. And right now, if you look at this Lakers-Mavericks game, as much as I would love to see the Lakers fall another game, I'd much rather have them to beat Dallas, to put more stretch between Dallas and Sacramento.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the Lakers have more of a hill to climb to catch Sac than Dallas.
Yeah. All right. Some other league news. Clay went for 12 threes again on Friday night, 42 points, and his 3rd game with 12 3-pointers. That's the most in NBA league history. He passed Curry, who has 2 amongst a couple of others. So that was pretty cool to watch. The Celtics beat the Sixers last night. Tatum hit that 3-pointer with a second to go. Embiid hits a 70-footer that would have tied it, but it was just after the buzzer, after the light had gone off.
You know, Scott, I like to hate on Embiid. I really do. But I do have to give credit where credit is due. Embiid is the new Jack Shaquille O'Neal, to where nobody, one-on-one, nobody can stop this dude. If you try to go man for man on Embiid, he's going to crush you. You know, as much as we love the Joker, and the Joker might be 3-time MVP this year.
Sure.
He's playing great basketball, but head to head with Embiid, it's 1-0 Embiid.
No doubt. And Joker has the NBA record. The Nuggets have won 25 straight games when he's gone for a triple-double.
That's another organization that don't get the just do the burn. They're number one right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And all we can still talk about is the Lakers, the Clippers, you know, what's happening with Golden State. But Denver has earned that big time accolade of being in number one.
Yeah. Speaking of the Lakers, they're up 1 now with 5.4 to go in the game as they take a timeout in Dallas. We'll continue to update you.
That was a
on
nice
that.
3 right
That
there.
was a beautiful
Yeah.
3, and there was no D on that 3 either. All right. What do you make about the Atlanta situation? We haven't talked about that. Nate McMillan's out. It looks like Quinn Snyder is going to be the new coach of the Hawks.
You know, I have no problem with organizations changing coaches because it's just the way, it's the NBA. But the problem I have, Scooter, is when they let a player do it. They let a player push a coach out. And, you know, let's not sit here and
Is that why they call him Ice Tray?
hey, let's not sit here and be like, well, you know, it wasn't Trey. No, it was Trae Young. Him and Trae Young, they didn't get along. And Trae was like, hey, it's either him or me. And 9 times out of 10, the organizations go with the players. But even if they're going to do that, don't let it be so blatant to where everyone knows that you've taken one over the other.
Yeah, I think that's pretty obvious. Of course, Quinn Snyder has connections to Atlanta. He was on Mike Budenholzer's staff when he was in Atlanta. So it looks like he's the lead candidate. Talks are progressing according to all reports. All right, we'll take the break. When we come back, we'll focus in on Kings and Thunder. We hope to hear from the G-Man as well from Oklahoma City. Game night is always brought to you by the Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento. If you have a heart of service and you want to help out our community, one great way you can do that is become an adult mentor for a kid in need in our area. Kids ages 7 to 18 are needing mentors in their life. Maybe you might be one. Call 916-646-9300. Visit bbbs-sac.org to learn more about being a volunteer mentor with the Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento. More of Game Night right here. Sactown Sports 1140.
Okay, yeah, are you guys are happy the Kings are getting prime time?
Oh, for sure. And
No,
yeah.
man.
No.
come on, man.
No. Keep them on low budget TV. That's what they deserve to be.
Are we confirmed with the G-Man, by the way?
I can't get a hold of him right now.
Okay.
I'm sure he's Mr. Popular today, even though he's away. But word has spread quickly there that it's his 3,000th game.
Oh, sure.
And I'm sure everyone wants to pay their respects.
No question. That's understandable.
Because he knows everybody.
Yes.
I asked him a while ago what was his favorite I almost said stadium, arena to visit.
Yep.
And he couldn't give me a clear answer because he's got a lot of great opinions and stuff, but he just was specific about how much he loves calling games here in Sacramento.
Yep.
You should have asked him what was his favorite restaurant, because he
You're
could
right. I
he
should
could have gave you that.
Yeah, definitely.
Or gave you a couple.
I know. Yeah, that's always. I try to ask him recommendations whenever he's in whatever city.
Oh man, he knows.
Yeah, he does.
He loves
definitely does.
Maggiano's. I know that.
What's
He
that?
loves it.
Maggiano's, which is a Italian restaurant in many NBA stops.
Okay.
So,
And what's the pizza spot he goes to when he goes back east?
We'll have to ask him on that one.
Yeah, he always goes to the same pizza spot. He loves it.
All right, here we go. It's 2.2 left to go in the
wow.
game in Dallas. Half court shot from Irving.
No
Is an
good.
air ball, and the Lakers hold on to win.
Do you guys prefer that? Do you guys prefer Dallas losing or Lakers losing this game?
I prefer Dallas losing.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're saying you're rooting for the Lakers today?
I wasn't rooting for the Lakers. I said I
I
prefer.
worded it a specific
Dallas
way. I
losing.
worded, yeah. Who do you want to lose?
So
Yes.
The Lakers trailed by 27 in this game in the second quarter. Didn't realize that. Largest comeback in the NBA this season.
Anthony Davis hit a pretty amazing shot there at the end too. I don't know if you guys saw
I
that.
did not.
Yeah, that fade away in the
Yeah,
corner.
yeah.
Nice.
He put him up by 3. So you guys prefer this outcome just because? Would you guys be
It
worried?
helps the Kings in the
Yes.
big picture. Of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, but I mean, I know it's early. Do you think this Luka Kyrie pairing is working out or going to work out this season?
Don't know. Don't know. I mean, like right now, they're playing decent basketball, but I much rather see the Lakers win right now because the Lakers have a longer road to travel to catch the Kings. Dallas doesn't. Dallas is in the mix, and the Kings need separation from these teams as much as possible.
Yeah, so with that game, the Mavs now fall to 32-30. They'll still be in sixth place. They'll still have a guaranteed playoff picture as it stands now. But boy, things are tightening. The Warriors are at 30-30 right there amongst many other teams.
And see, those spots are going to get tighter. I honestly think this, Scott. The 1, 2, and 3 position, and maybe even the 4, I think they're going to stretch themselves out. But I think that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, those positions are going to be so tight that it might come down to a game or two to really get in order who's going to be where.
I agree with that. I feel like even though the records don't show this, but I feel like there's a kind of a top 5 in the conference. I feel like the Nuggets, the Grizz, the Kings, the Suns, and the Clippers are kind of a class above the other teams in the Western
Totally
Conference.
agree, yeah.
Okay, I'll ride with that. But I think maybe just the top 4, and then really I want to say top 3. I think those teams will separate themselves to where if you're in that top 3, you can be like, okay, we're pretty much in, and the other guys down low are going to be into a fight.
All right, there we go.
Back,
we are coming back in. Back in here, game night. Sactown Sports 1140. Final segment. Getting you ready for Kings Live pregame coming up at 3:30. Jason Ross will be here with the High Flyer for that. The G-Man will be there as well. The G-Man with the call. Again, his 3,000th broadcast upcoming right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
Man,
it's a big, big day here.
Huge day. And, Scott, the only thing that would have made it better if it could have been here for us to really, really, really give G his flowers, man, and, love and hold on the way we're supposed to.
G1C for sure.
No doubt, but we will get a chance to do it for sure.
Yeah.
But all in all, man, I mean, 3,000 games, that's a milestone.
No doubt. We're trying to see if we can get Gary on before the end of the show, but he's obviously getting a lot of thank yous back in Oklahoma City as well. So we'll hear from him on Kings Live pregame if we don't get him before. But again, our heartfelt congratulations to the G-Man for an amazing accomplishment. All right, Kings and Thunder, it's time to get you to the Who's on the Floor report. It's brought to you by Gold River Floors, locally owned by employees here in this area with 3 locations to serve you. Sacramento Flooring off Power Inn Road in Sacramento, Gold River Carpet 1 off Highway 50 in Rancho Cordova, and Gold River Flooring America off East Bidwell in Folsom. As we said for the Kings today, they're fully healthy. It's amazing how great the health has been for the Sacramento Kings team. They're all available to go. As we mentioned, there is a notable player out for OKC, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who did not play against Phoenix on Friday, will not play. He's ruled out, sore ankle. He will not go today. Of course, he had 37 last time against the Kings, a game in which the Kings won back in January, 118-113.
Mm-hmm. I mean, very competitive game. And Scott, I would have to say that I have big time respect for Shai. Shai is a guy that comes out, plays his game. He doesn't talk too much trash. He doesn't cry to the referees. He just comes out and leaves it all on the floor. He's one of those guys that I give a grand salute to.
Yeah, no, he's been an incredible player and obviously on the all-star team and certainly deserving of that. So you look at the Thunder starting 5, it's going to be Lou Dort, Josh Giddey, Isaiah Joe. That's a pretty good combination. And then you've got the 2 Jalen Williams as well.
Both the Jay Williams.
Yes. Keep that one straight today.
Yeah, Jay Williams Square.
So, again, OKC has played well. It's been a team that's been playing for the future. The future has started to arrive. And, of course, Chet Holmgren, who they were counting on, the number 2 pick in the draft, has been out all season. When they get him into the rotation, it's really going to be interesting to see where OKC's at.
Scooter, this is another basketball team that can make a huge jump. If they keep their core the way they have it, like you said, bring Chet back because Chet's supposed to be a big part of what they had going, and get another decent pick and maybe one more free agent, basketball team ceiling is high.
Yeah, they're getting closer for sure. I really like Lou Dort's game too.
I do. I like him too.
Yeah, and Josh Giddey. I think for a second-year player, his upside is great.
You know, Lou Dort gives you the Draymond Green factor. Mm-hmm. You know, a guy that's going to go out and put it all on the line on the defensive end, a guy that's going to give you some nasty. You know, Josh Giddey, love his game. You know, he has a little Magic Johnson-esque flair to his game, you know, to be 6'9", to be able to handle the basketball.
Great assist guy,
and pass it the way he does. Mm-hmm. I like what he brings.
Yeah, no, he's fun to watch for sure. So OKC's got a lot of good things going, but without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, again, obviously the great timing for the Kings to be going into Oklahoma City at a game they certainly have a great chance to take advantage of this afternoon.
Right. And, you know, Scott, I honestly feel like this, you know, with Shai being out, if the Kings come out and they take care of business and really get this team down and knock them out the way they should do, mm-hmm. the next game, they might even hold Shai out again because they will look at the situation and be like, why should we bring Shai back on this game to where the Kings probably still going to win again? We can rest him one more game and then bring him back into another game to where we might be able to be, be a competition.
Yeah, absolutely. And Henry, I want to know, as a former player, and again, coming off a game like they did Friday night, where obviously it's one of the epic games that expended absolutely everything. How tough is it? I mean, you know how important these games are. That's a given, but just how tough is it just from a human standpoint to get back up to a level and get ready to go less than 48 hours? Is it an issue at all?
You know what, Scooter? Sometimes it isn't tough.
Okay.
Because you have to look at what the Kings have going now.
Yeah.
All right. They're looking at the end all be all goal. They've had some great success. And when you're having success and you're playing basketball at such a high level, you're having fun. So when it's fun, it don't take much to get right back to it. As long as that success is there and you playing good basketball and everybody's having fun, everybody's laughing, there's smiles on faces, it isn't hard to get right back to it.
Yeah, well, certainly they're having a lot of fun, no doubt about it. And again, they're coming off one of the all-time great wins in franchise history on Friday night. We'll try to replicate it again. And I got to think we saw Gary's online. Let's bring up real quickly. I know we have limited time. G-Man, we just wanted to wish you congratulations. I know we're limited time before we get into Kings Live pregame, but we're so excited for the broadcast today. 3,000 games. Henry and I can't believe it, and we're so excited to be a part of it, and just so happy for you to have this moment today.
I can't believe it either, and it's a bit of a whirlwind. There's been a lot of attention unnecessarily focused on this, in my estimation, but it is appreciated, absolutely. And yes, it's a milestone. It's meaningful to me, and I'm deeply appreciative on so many different fronts. The Kings organization, they just showed me a 5-minute package that they put together, our digital team, that I guess is going out when this game gets underway. And wow, I was blown away. I mean, it's emotional. It's a trip down memory lane. It's accolades from a lot of people that, I hold in high esteem. And I'm almost speechless. Imagine that, a radio guy speechless.
We know you'll be ready to go for the broadcast here, and it's all deserved, my friend. Have a great call today.
Thank you so much, Scott, Henry. Appreciate it.
All right, that's the G-Man. That's going to do it for game night here. Coming up next, Kings Live pregame. Henry will have more thoughts about that. Jason will sit in on this seat here, and of course, you'll hear from the G-Man as well. It's the Kings versus Oklahoma City. Kings basketball, the 3,000th broadcast for the G-Man coming your way on Sactown Sports 1140.